please talk about that.
Well, so Tim and I are there, and we were stunned. It was in the middle of summer, so it is beautiful, beautiful. And we put out, so we think, okay, we need to start, and different companies have done hack and learns, but I really believe it's the responsibility, especially of this area, given what so many of the companies do around here, to help. So we thought, okay, we're going to start this, we'll develop the material, and then we can keep going and reuse it. And we had a great group of people, between folks from our Intel security organization, the company soon to be known again as McAfee, Silicon Valley Education Foundation, the Coder Dojo folks. And it was an amazing group that was so energized. I mean, it was almost like you couldn't get everybody off the planning calls, because people were like, this will just be fantastic. This will be great. So everybody shows up there, and there were more kids that signed up. And this was a big space. There were more kids that signed up than we could support. And we thought, there's no way. It's beautiful outside. There's no way these, 12 to 15-year-olds are actually going to ask their parents to drive them to Santa Clara for a whole day of coding. And it was packed. And it was hysterical that they, at the beginning, people were quiet and the kids were shy, but there were, of course, the girls were at a couple of tables, but I was glad that there were even girls that were there, and boys at other tables. But within the first half an hour, it was like everybody knew each other, including the adults, who mostly were just communicating over the phone. Everybody had known each other for years. The kids are talking, the adults were talking, and it actually ran longer than it was supposed to, because people were so engaged. So there's a demand out there. One event doesn't make it, but it really highlights that within the companies, we're very fortunate to be here out in this area. We have folks that are very enthusiastic to help. We just need to get people organized and help move it forward. So I know that, that event is the foundation of what we'll do, multiple of going forward, and what other companies are willing to do. So it starts with a spark in every company out here. It's not good enough to say, we have a lot of positions to fill when you're not willing to help bring folks along at the junior high school level. It's a responsibility everybody has here.
I would say that that's a wonderful thing that Intel has done. And there are a few companies, Microsoft being one of them, who have the capacity to really do these kind of programs. But every company can participate, because every company I know about has some kind of community involvement organization and some sort of funding for the community. And simply directing that funding towards these kind of activities, because there's a lot of requests out there, making this a priority for the community support activities. And I'll put in a commercial for Silicon Valley Education Foundation, one of many organizations that are out there doing this kind of work.
And for companies that don't know where to go, and I'm speaking now to the audience here, if you, to Dave's point, if you don't feel you're big enough to do something like that, reach out to Tim, reach out to any of us, and we all have connections that we're either doing ourselves or know who to get you applied to, because it takes a village in all this, but we can really make a difference.
And one thing just to add to that is we are very fortunate to be in this area with so many tech workers and companies focused here. But one thing to also keep in mind is the companies that have many satellite offices or many other, people that they work with, like, data centers out in Atlanta or whatever the case may be, for the companies to have policies where their workers can go out into their local community and it's supported by the company, so that, we have in some sense a large S here, but it's also important to think that since the leadership of many of those companies are here, they can create policies where the companies can actually have an impact in a broader swath of the country by allowing their workers anywhere to be able to take these kind of activities and replicate them, or work with their local schools to be a teacher's aide, or teach an enrichment class, or whatever the case may be.
There are also severe shortages in higher education. If
K-12 are producing more people that want to specialize, and I understand it's computer science for all is the topic, but if they wanted to go deeper in computer science, higher education in the Silicon Valley has nowhere to put them. I've just completed the largest regional study of higher ed I know of that goes from 1970 through 2015. It's called a new book called Higher Education in the Silicon Valley, Conflict and Cooperation. All of the, virtually all of the computer science programs in the Bay Area and higher education are maxed out. All three of our CSUs, they declare impaction where they can take no more majors or transfers. That's true in computer science. The community colleges are overloaded. This we can prepare them, but we'll have to look at higher education and its capacity. My own view is we're not going to expand public higher ed fast enough, and we must be really creative in looking at private education and shorter courses and really think this through, because I don't think the traditional higher ed delivery system. The outgoing president of San Jose State University said to me, "I struggle to change this institution incrementally, and this economy changes exponentially." And it takes 2 years to get a new course approved in a community college through Sacramento. So the pace of higher ed is nowhere like the pace of the economy, and that's what's in the book.